Welcome everybody back to boostinmotion, guys, and today we're going to talk about what's the future of the VR30 community. So let's just talk about it. Let's jump into it. But right now I'm literally just cleaning my car out a bit. It's a bit dirty. You guys always sit there and say you want to see more of the car, so I'm gonna just show you guys more of the car. Anyways, all right guys, so let's really talk about it, right? Let's really honestly sit there and talk about it. Where do I think the VR30 community is really headed? You know, I honestly gonna tell you my predictions. All right, so knowing that the Z car is gonna be out within the next year, and a year from now, I don't really think there's gonna be too much changes. And this is why I say what I say. Reason being is the Q50 with the VR30 has been out as a 2020 model in Japan for about a year now, and not too much has come out from overseas yet for this community. Sooner or later it will pick up once the VR30 comes out. Hopefully some of the parts will be interchangeable, such as lower downpipes, but I don't really see a real big change, or I would say big changes coming to the VR30 community. Not really the Z car, but the VR30 community. And this is why I say what I said, because some companies already, I would sit there and say, already made a good amount of good quality parts for the community. And yes, when more companies come out, they actually saturate the market with parts, so that these companies have to start undercutting each other. Take for instance, look at lower downpipes, right? Years ago when AMS was one of the first companies coming out with lower downpipes, everyone ran out and got lower downpipes. Everyone, they ran out there, got them. But then guess what happened? Other companies came and they said, hey, this is just pipe. We don't need to charge $400 for it. We could charge $150, $250. And then sooner or later, now we're down to lower downpipes at $150. But look at other, use that as example with the G37 community. You can get test pipes, which is tail sticks, technically pipe, for about almost $100 or less per it. The same thing applies, the same manufacturing process applies to the Q50, Q60 community, which is why I never sat there and said you guys should go spend $400 on lower downpipes. It doesn't make any damn sense. Okay, now moving forward from that, with the Z car coming out now, right, and knowing that that's gonna add maybe a few more eyes on it, we might see a difference. We might see a few more parts, such as cheaper blow valves, or more companies. Wow, I do have a mosquito bite right here, bastard. I do see more blow valves being added to the community that will be more affordable and more cheaper. But outside of that, I don't really see too much. Exhaust options, maybe, but more. They know that a person with a Z car will probably definitely go get a CATBACK exhaust system more than a Q50 owner. That's just what it is. You guys gotta understand, like, the Q50 is really an A/B car. I mean, people that are watching this video are more the enthusiasts that actually love their car and want to know how to bump up the performance and what they can do with the car. But the majority of the market doesn't care to do that, unfortunately, guys. But when you get a Z car, you got it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the time, either it's because how it looks, or because you want to own the lineage of a Z car and see where it can go. But to just be quite honest with you guys, like, I don't see much of a market increasing in the Q50, Q60 community. I think, honestly, we almost hit the crescent, basically. We almost hit the little top of what this market is actually going to do for the Q50, Q60 market. Yeah, shout out to Drop Bear and AMS Performance with coming out with their, sooner or later going to come out with their turbo kits for the community. So we're going to see where the power levels is. And I'll be quite honest with you guys that watch and sit there and listen. Yo, you guys have baby GTRs. I don't care what no one says. You go get a GTR right now in 2009 and you E85 it with downpipes and everything, about 600 wheel horsepower. That's really right around where it is. We're doing the same thing on RT and pure turbos. The same exact thing on E85. So I keep sitting there saying it. If you want a car that you guys are going to go to the racetrack with and has a lineage, you get a GTR. But if you want the power level, man, get the $15,000, $20,000 3.0T. Spend for about $4 grand on about another 10 grand from turbos to fuel system, and you have 600 wheel horsepower for about 35 grand. Compared to a GTR, which is not going down in price, but some of you guys want the lineage, right? Anyways, I can see that this platform is gonna have a lot more people, a lot more younger guys that's gonna come into the community, and I could see it being a little bit more ricier. It's just what happens when a car gets more affordable. This is a cheaper a turbo car that comes in all-wheel drive and rear drive. So I can see it starting to become that way. Look how some of the 370Z and G37 owners have become in the last 5 years. You know, it's a bunch of muffler deletes, no disrespect to you guys, but nothing but muffler deletes. And I don't really see as much quality as I would like to see in the community. And I haven't been a G37 owner in probably over 5 to 6 years. So I saw how that community is changing, and it's gonna start coming over here. So yo, we're gonna see some good builds, but I don't think the community itself is really gonna go much more bigger in the sense of where it is right now. Of course, this VR30 is gonna get swapped into other chassis soon enough, because people are gonna like, wait, hold on, I could just get this turbo motor rather than get an SR or an RB or these other motors. They can like, I could just get a VR30 because it's right here. It's only $1,500 and there's plenty of parts for it. Then I can see that the motor's gonna be swapping to other cars, but at this current moment, I don't really see too much. Yeah guys, I'm just cleaning out the interior real quick. Cleaning out the interior. I think these cars' interiors are not too hard to clean, but you got these crevices like this that so pissed me off, and I got a little dust over here. I really hate it, and I gotta clean the glass. Look how dirty it is. So you guys might not even see it. It's just so dirty here, but oh my god, I really don't detail this car as enough as it really should be. But anyways, let's continue. You know what? To add a positive to it with you guys, it could be the inverse. This community actually really may blow up. And here's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, this motor is probably one of the most cost-efficient turbo motors out there for the newer cars and the newer builds. There's not a lot of cars now that you can literally buy and make 400 wheel horsepower this easy for this cheap, compared to, let's say, BMW's 328, 335s, 340s, and even the newer 340s. So I can still see these cars being dope. Like, even if you guys took a 335i, I want to make 400 wheel horsepower. It's not reliable. I don't care what some of you guys are 335 owners. You know what I'm talking about. It is still not reliable, because BMW, when they got into the DI game, they literally still didn't iron out all the problems. As much as people complain about the VR30 community injectors, it's really not as bad as BMW when they first came out. So for Infiniti to do this good since they first started getting into the DI game over here, like, it's really not that bad. But I can really see it actually becoming a really dope platform. Think about it. Let's say Infiniti/Nissan decided to actually come out with a better set of bigger turbos for the community. Wouldn't that be actually dope? Like, let's say they come out with a newer Red Sport for 2022, right? And it has larger turbos. Wouldn't that actually be great? Because now you guys can just go get OEM turbos and then tune on that. Because it's the same thing that happened to the GTR. The Nismo turbos are better than the regular non-Nismo turbos. They just are better turbos. So I can see that being an option. You never really know. Listen, at the end of the day, Infiniti's only going to go where the money brings them, right? So if electrification is where it brings them, unfortunately, we're screwed. But if electrification and the VR30 community continues to be bigger and bigger, because their lease rates are so cheap, but they're still making cash cow, they'll do it. They'll continue moving that direction. And I want you guys to understand that. At the end of the day, you know, they might start putting the 9-speed and the Q50, Q60. You never know. From the Titan, you never know. They may give it an upgraded transmission. They may just take that same platform, because the Q50 has to be changed at some point. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with you guys. It has to get changed. It's been out for what, 7, 8 years now, right? So either they're gonna have to give it a full refresh, right? A full refresh where they change the look of the car, and they just dropped right now the new QX60 look, the QX60, and they changing the front ends from what it is right now. So that kind of like lets you know where Infiniti is trying to go with looks. The same thing with the QX55 that's supposed to be dropped in another month. You can see where the looks are going. So I can see the Q50 either being scrapped or being redesigned, in the sense that they just changed the honest look of the car. I can see that honestly happening, guys. I can really see that happening. And with them probably revising the VR30, it's probably going to get even better. Because if they revise the VR30, they can keep it the same, but just make it slightly more reliable maybe with newer injectors, a larger set of turbos, because they want to make a bit more power at the car, maybe a bit more cooling from factory. They know people buy because of numbers. A lot of you guys that have a Red Sport went and bought a Red Sport because it says 400 horsepower. There's other cars on the market, but y'all came over here. Why? Because 400 horsepower sounds great for the price. You guys could have went to Audi, BMW, and y'all guys notice the price of it. And people still stick away from BMW and Audi in these cars because they feel like the parts are more expensive and they're not as reliable. A lot of these newer Mercedes, BMWs, and Audis, they're a lot more reliable than they were before. But if you want to buy the high performance models, that's where most of the problems come from. So to honestly bring it to a close, when you talk about performance, there can be a gain done in the VR30 community. Like, I honestly see it happening. Do I see a more performance oriented Q50, Q60? I don't know. It all depends on if the market dictates it. But Infiniti and Nissan still have to save themselves some money. So they may not go full out, balls to the wall, because it's hard for them to sit there and chase BMW. You know, they know they could probably keep up with, or maybe outsell the 340 and the 440s, right? They know they can do that, but they're still selling more cars because, honestly, those cars have more gimmicks, from turning up the volume like this and all these hand gestures. People actually like gimmicks. I can see them putting a digital dash in the Q50, Q60 because I think they have a Rogue and a few other Nissan vehicles who already have it. So it's going to cost them nothing to change that. Or they might actually try to do this stuff all at the same time, where they'll, rather than just do like what BMW does and like, or even Mustang does, where they literally just make the change, like literally they make the change like mid refresh. I see them not even doing that. Like, I see them honestly just giving us a whole new model with a whole new interior. I really see that happening for the platform. You know, Q60 been out since 2017. It's 2020 right now. That car still has another maybe 3 years on it on production. Pretty much. I can see that. To be honest with you, I think they'll be very successful if they continue to do it kind of like the way they did G37 / the 370Z. Make the Q60 more, still luxurious, but still a better performer, right? And if they make the Q50, maybe have, the price is good, you could raise the price up a little bit, but add more of a sport to it and a bit more colors. And the tech, I just don't think it's gonna get there, because seeing what's in the 2020, I don't really see them making a much difference other than the Pro Pilot Assist and a few other stuff like that, and the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. That just makes them okay with the day and age, but I don't see them leading in the infotainment or anything like that. But looks wise, if they can go the direction of what they're going, I think we still, I gotta be honest with you, Q50s, Q60s, Infinitis make good looking vehicles. They really do. They make good looking vehicles. It's just that I believe the performance and some of the standard tech is starting to finally get up there and compete. But at the end of the day, I don't think they need to kill themselves anymore. Just give us cars without the CVT. Don't do the QX50 nonsense and put CVTs. People don't like the CVTs. Even regular people don't like CVTs, like regular non-car people. You know, they buy it, but you know, some people just don't care. But a lot of people don't like that transmission. I think that's one of the biggest downfalls of Nissan Infiniti in the last decade. They should have kept with the regular traditional 7-speed or 8-speed, and that's it. Even from when they developed the 5-speed automatic and the 5-speed automatic, that went bad. That was for the early Maximas, and then from then on, they went on with the what is it called? The CVTs for the other Maximas, and that trash too. So I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Both ways. I love the company. I still respect a lot of their cars. It's just that as a performance enthusiast, it's super hard to stay with them, knowing that there could be changes made, because when a company have dope cars such as the 370Z, anything Z or SX, pretty much from the old days, even to the Maxima's the four-door sports sedan or four-door sports car, and just knowing that they had a good mixture of everything, and now seeing that they're trying to go away from that, man, they got to make the cars fun. You still got to make the cars fun, period. But outside of that, guys, I'm sorry for the renting and make this rent video. You already know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification. Tell me what you think. I mean, listen, I don't know what necessarily all of what's going to happen for the VR30 in the next year or two. But in this video, I just wanted to lay out some of the changes that they should do to make it better. Outside of that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. You have a good day. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some boostinmotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you.